let me answer this one, that is why boudoir photographers are so expensive. And yes, we are expensive. And I would say the average you're spending in a boudoir session, I would say there's from the cheap ends, $300, to the high-end packages that go $2,000. So I would consider myself middle range. I mean, not too cheap, not too expensive, but still affordable enough. So and you get me with the makeup, and you get me telling you exactly what to do. So I consider myself middle range. Okay, what goes into a session? That's the important thing. Like, people think that it's just, oh, you just come in, it took you 2 hours, makeup and hair and session, and that's it. You just push the button. No. It's not just pushing a button. It takes preparation of, like, for instance, I use my neighbor's place, and I go earlier to set up, to clean, to make sure everything's okay. I rent the place from her, so there's an expense right there. What else? Just that preparation, right? And then during the session, the makeup and stuff like that's fine. The session goes smoothly. After the session, there's way more time that I spent just in culling and deleting the weird faces. That takes me a while, because I transfer the files I take during a session. In a average session, I take 300 photos, more or less. And 300 files in my camera, they're stupid huge. They're 80 megabytes each. Yay, Nikon. So I have to be harsh on deleting, because I don't need 32 megabytes of gigabytes, not megabytes, gigabytes of information per session. I don't need that. So, and you don't need to see all the poses either. I narrow them down to the best ones, and then I let you choose. But before, okay, so I cull. That takes me a while. Then I have to go into Lightroom and process the raw files. That takes me another while, right? Because I have to touch up, like color correct, make sure the blacks are black and the whites are white, little tweaks, smooth out a little bit of pores, so the photos look really nice. The color is vibrant and natural and all that stuff. So that takes me another 2-3 hours on average. Okay, so I'm making a math. 1 hour, I suck at math. 1 hour preparation, 2 hour session, 1 hour I would say culling if I have no distractions, 3 hours post-production. That's 7 hours or 8 hours right then. And yeah, then I touch up a sample, so you can choose your files, and that's quick. I mean, doesn't take me that long. So, and then you get the files, and you can choose your own, the ones that you really liked for me to retouch. That I think saves me also a lot of time in deciding, okay, you only get 20 files. I'm gonna be very harsh. No, people like to see a little bit more variety, so they can choose their 20 files. Okay, there goes 8 hours just for one session, and that's not even editing after. The editing after, usually I could say I'm gotten better at it, but sometimes during the summer, people have really dark skin on their arm, but really white fluorescent white stomach. So I try to match those skin tones. It's just basic little stuff like that sometimes it takes a little bit longer, just because you're going into detail. Like, I don't like changing too much of the face or too much of the body, but we tweak stuff, we tucking a little bit stuff, we round out a little bit stuff, so it looks pretty, and it's just a nice overall finish. And then I retouch a little bit of the background, because sometimes you can see a little piece of the carpet, or the floor, not the carpet, or the bed. You can extend it a little bit so you don't have to see the side tables. Little stuff like that makes the photo look a little bit nicer. So yeah, it goes, I would say an average per session is 10 to 12 hours. And then I still have a full-time job, so I'm very, very protective of my time, because I have a full-time job and I have kids and a husband that is always telling me to spend more time with my kids. Yes, so yeah, I would say an average of 10 to 12 hours per session. And if you do the math, after expenses and stuff like that, it's, I could say, $25 an hour, $30 an hour. So even I'm thinking I should raise my prices. I won't. But now that I'm thinking it like that, it's like, damn it. But yeah, so little things to consider when you're hiring a photographer and asking them just to take a picture. Oh, and I'm not even counting of the training that we do, like the seminars we go to, the camera equipment that you use. I'm not even counting that stuff, because obviously every time you use your camera, you're not breaking it right then and there, but eventually you'll need a replacement, and a professional body goes $3,000, $4,000. Your computer, your software that you use, Lightroom and Photoshop, $15 a month. My software that I book with booking software is $10 a month. Every other little thing, my backup, it just adds up. So yes, photography is expensive. If you have somebody that you can trust that knows how to use a camera, go ahead. Let them practice on you. Just make sure those pictures don't end up somewhere in the internet with your face on it. I don't post faces. And that is it of why is boudoir photography expensive. And there's way more reasons, but that's basically my justification of why I charge what I charge. And yeah, anything else?